Apple is holding their next event on Wednesday, February 19th, and this is going to be a special event because based on this tweet by Tim Cook, it looks like it's only going to focus on a singular product, and I know exactly what that product is because there's been long anticipated rumors that the iPhone SE was going to launch this week, but it looks like we're just getting the announcement for the announcement. So I want to tell you all the last minute details about the new iPhone SE and why I think this is such an important phone, because Apple is deciding to hold an event for a single product, which is something they don't normally do. Usually when they hold events, it's for multiple products, and if they were only going to announce a single product, it would usually just be a press release. So I think the iPhone SE is going to be a huge deal, and the reason why it is because it's actually a big upgrade. Now, I'm not talking about a big upgrade compared to something like the iPhone 16, but it is a big upgrade from this, the last iPhone SE, which still has the design of the iPhone 8. The iPhone 8 launched when the iPhone 10 was out. Think about that. That was a long time ago. So we are getting finally a modern iPhone at a more budget-oriented price, and that is the main strength of the iPhone SE, is the rumors are saying it's going to be priced around $500. Now, what will that $500 get you determines on if this will actually be a good phone to buy, and I think it will be based on the rumors, because you are now going to be getting a bigger 6.1-inch OLED display, which is, again, a huge upgrade over this iPhone SE, which has a 4.7-inch LCD display, and it still has like a home button with the top and bottom bezels. It's just a really old design, right? So the new iPhone SE will get that bigger display. It will be reducing the bezels dramatically to something around the size of the iPhone 14. It will be getting rid of the home button. It will be getting rid of Touch ID. It will be shipping with Face ID. And yes, it will have a notch, but again, that is a huge upgrade over the previous iPhone SE design. And just in general, the whole phone is kind of getting a modern design facelift. So the sides are going to be flat, just like they are on the iPhone 16. The port on it is going to be changed as well. Don't forget, this still has a lightning port on the old iPhone SE. That will be upgraded with a modern USB-C port. And it's also going to get a huge bump in specs. So the back camera on this is a 12 megapixel one. Now, it's still only going to ship with one camera lens, but it's going to be upgraded to that main 48 megapixel sensor, just like we have on the iPhone 16. So even though it is a one camera system, it is going to lead to a huge jump in photo and video quality. It's going to get a lot of the modern photo and video features that you can find on the iPhone 16. And even though, again, that it is that one camera system, it will incorporate a lot of the smarts of the modern iPhone camera system as well. So you'll be able to get things like the 2x crop mode on that 48 megapixel sensor. So it'll be like the iPhone SE has a small zoom lens for the first time. The internals, though, are where things are really going to be drastic here, because Apple isn't just shipping like an older chip with the iPhone SE. No, they are updating it to the most cutting edge chip that they have right now, and that would be the A18 chip, which comes with the iPhone 16. So you will be getting the same exact power on the iPhone SE that you could with the iPhone 16, and the sacrifices you're really making here in terms of features will be things like additional cameras and a little bit to the design of the iPhone SE, because it won't have things like the dynamic island. But in general, you're kind of getting an iPhone 16 in power and features and in capabilities. Don't forget, the iPhone 16 has an A18 chip for Apple Intelligence, which also means that it must have at least 8 gigabytes of memory. So that's also going to transfer over to the iPhone SE. The old SE has 4 gigabytes of memory, so it's going to get double the memory on this upgrade as well. So it's going to be a very competent phone when it launches. It is going to support all of those Apple Intelligence features, whether you like them or not, but it is going to have all the modern features of a current phone at just a more budget-oriented price point. And again, most rumors are saying this is going to be around $500. I'm guessing the starting storage is probably going to be 128 gigabytes, and that is going to be a huge deal for budget-oriented buyers. I also think it's going to push out older iPhones in the lineup. This is something that Apple hasn't normally done, but if you look at the current iPhone lineup and how they've done it for the past few years, is they usually keep older iPhones in the lineup to hit a certain price point. But it doesn't really make sense to keep products like the iPhone 15 or the iPhone 14 in the lineup when you have the iPhone SE coming in and it supports more modern features like Apple Intelligence, when it has a stronger chip and when it retails at a better price point than those phones. So I think Apple is going to clean up this lineup as well. I think they're going to get rid of the older phones in the lineup, and it's just going to be a very simplified lineup for now with the iPhone SE, the iPhone 16, and the iPhone 16 Pro. Now, even though the iPhone SE is mostly just taking an older phone design and putting modern internals into it, there is one thing that Apple is doing differently with this phone that could end up being pretty surprising or shocking even, and that is that this is apparently going to be the first phone that they are shipping with their own custom modem. So current iPhones ship with a Qualcomm modem in it. Apple's been trying to make their own cellular modem for a few years now, and they've kind of, been slow to implement that. But apparently this iPhone SE is going to be their first Apple custom 5G modem in the phone, which I don't know, I'm kind of curious to see how that will perform. Will it be better than Qualcomm's modem? Will you get better cellular reception? Or is this in some way going to be worse than a Qualcomm modem? And the way they make up for it is that, yeah, it's shipping on a cheaper phone, so it doesn't really matter. But Apple making their own modem means they won't have to pay Qualcomm to manufacture it. They won't have to pay that higher licensing fee, which could be a way how they are shipping a new iPhone SE at such a low price point when all the other internals aren't that old when you compare them to phones they are still currently selling. And I think that's the main appeal here. If Apple can hit around a $500 price point, I think that it really needs to be around that price point to be a huge success. This could really spur a lot of iPhone upgrades, especially if users are interested in Apple Intelligence but don't want to spend a bunch of money on an iPhone 16 or an iPhone 16 Pro. This could end up being a really popular phone for Apple, kind of like the first iPhone SE was. That was a big hit for Apple, and the updates to the iPhone SE when it shipped with the iPhone 8 design didn't sell as well as that original SE model. I think this time they finally have the right formula, the right mix of a modern design packed in with the internals of a modern flagship iPhone, and I really feel like people are going to rush out and buy this phone, and I think that's why Apple is holding an event for this phone. Normally, with like a single press release, especially something that's kind of remixed with older hardware, they would just do a press release for it, but I really feel like Apple sees this phone as important. They think it's going to be a big seller, and they want to kind of hype it up and inform as many people as possible that they are making a modern iPhone SE design, something that can compete with mid-level or even budget-level Android phones. And I think it's going to do extremely well if they can price it right, and I'm excited for it. So that is basically all you can expect for this new Apple event on Wednesday, February 19th. We're gonna get a new iPhone SE, and it's gonna be exciting. But what about some other products that Apple might announce? Because we were anticipating a few more in this spring timeframe, and that would be a new M4 MacBook Air and updates to the regular iPad and the iPad Air. So will those products somehow be announced at this Wednesday event? I don't think so. It seems like based on that tweet, it's going to be one singular product, but according to Mark Gurman from Bloomberg, he said that we should expect those products to be announced sometime in the next few weeks. So it seems like Apple is going to launch the iPhone SE, and then sometime in March, maybe we'll get another mini event showing off the M4 MacBook Air or these new iPads, or maybe Apple will just do another week of press releases like they have done in the past. But that is basically everything you can expect in terms of Apple announcements for the next few weeks. And let me know, what do you think of the new iPhone SE? Do you think it's going to sell well? How much do you think Apple should price it for? And what features do you want to see on this budget-oriented phone? As always, if you like this video, make sure you give me a like. If you want to see more, make sure you're subscribed, and we'll talk more about this phone next week when it launches, again, on Wednesday, February 19th. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.